How's it going, guys? So what's in front of you is my pillion seat, or the passenger seat on my Honda NC700X 2012 year model. As you can see, this seat has pretty much deteriorated beyond usable. Okay, so my temporary solution was having a kind of a nylon cover on top of this, but I want to actually fix this properly. So whoever's going to be sitting on the back seat is going to, at least enjoy a new leather that is being put on the seat. Now, the NC700X, pretty common for those seats to tear at the parts shown here. What I'm going to try to do in this video, okay, is I bought some vinyl leather. So those are waterproof vinyl leathers for marine purpose. I think it's going to be a great use on the NC700X passenger seat. And I already have my heavy duty stapler laying around, and I have some extra staples for the stapler. Now I'm looking at the back. So basically the general process is rip all those existing staple on the back, rip the leather off. Hopefully you have the whole leather, and then you could kind of compare and get a sense of what size, how much of the leather you're going to be needing, but I don't think it's necessary. You pretty much just need to wrap the leather around the seat in order to get a new leather wrapped on the seat rather easily, provided all the foams are still in pretty good condition. And in my case, those foams are actually still in excellent condition, so I'm not going to change the foams. But if your foam's worn, you'll probably want to buy new high-density foams to reshape to the seat shape that you like. That's going to be more involved, but again, in this video, we are only replacing the leather. We're not modifying the foam in any way. So the first step I'm going to be doing is actually just using a plier and rip all the stapler or the staples off. Looking at the size of the staples, I think they are rather comparable. Mine is slightly narrower, but this is what I have laying around. If you have a wider, more heavy-duty stapler for upholstery purpose, by all means use that. Or if you want to do your own projects, get a better heavy-duty stapler maybe. For me, I'm using what I have. And this vinyl leather is, I bought on Amazon, like super cheap, $11. And I get quite a lot. So I can probably repurpose more seats if I need. But for this purpose, I only need to use a small portion of this vinyl sheet, which I think was around 50 inches by 30 inches. Okay, it is quite a lot. I'm going to show you guys later once I get all the leathers, old leather taken off the seat. And we're going to reassess the condition of the seat, maybe do a little bit of cleaning before we put the new leather on there. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So as I was taking the staples out, it seems like all of them are actually pretty badly rusted and pretty much rusted in place. What I'm gonna do is go outside and just, scrape everything off, and hopefully we're gonna put the new staple on. I'm gonna try to avoid those areas when I put the new staple on, maybe a little bit closer to the inside, and just extend the leather just a little bit more. Hopefully that would get this working, but otherwise, yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. Apologize for the noise, okay, but I have to do this outside, and took the cover out. It seems to be the exact same vinyl material as the one that I just bought. The only thing different is the texture. This one had more synthetic texture. The other one looks more like a leather. Okay, so that's the only difference. At least I can get a sense of what the size I'm going to be needing for the parameters of the seat. And right now I'm just having this in the sun, have all the water vapors hopefully dried out before I can take it inside and apply the new leather. Another thing to take note is you really want to spend time to get any kind of sharp edges either sanded out or taken out with some sort of plier. So pretty much pre-process this, because I still have a lot of like very pointy, sharp, dangerous nails still inside, and make sure you get those cleaned out really nicely before you start working on the unwrapping the seat. Okay, I was able to separate the foam and the plastic base and the vinyl leather in 3 parts, which made cleaning the pin or whatever's left over staples just a little bit easier. So I got most of them removed. Okay, there are some tough ones that I still can't remove, but I'm just gonna, let it go as is. But for now, most of the edge is very, very smooth, ready for the new staples to be applied. And right now I'm just, again, drying this because there are quite a lot of moisture down here. So once it's dried, we're ready to wrap this seat back up. I want to show you guys how big of the vinyl piece that I got. Okay, all this for a little more than $10. So you definitely don't need to spend a lot of money repairing those motorcycle seats. All you need to do is, spend probably $10 to $15, buy some nice vinyl that's waterproof, and cut a small piece for the seat. Okay, look how much it needs. It literally just not needing much. Just cut a piece large enough to cover all the angles, and stretch it and stable it. And I think that's a basic process of installing a new vinyl motorcycle seat leather wrap. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the piece, and we'll start the wrapping process. Obviously, this is my first time, so I honestly do not know what am I gonna be expecting in terms of how well it's gonna look like once it is wrapped. Is it gonna wrap as tight and as nice as this one? Probably not, but it's gonna be brand new leather, which means it's gonna last me quite a long time to come, right? So let's get started. So I cut a piece to kind of just measure with the foam inserted and the pillion on the back. And I pretty much just try to see if all angles is going to cover and have plenty of space to stretch, which it does. Like, the only area that might be a little bit tricky is the top and back. Again, if you have more leathers, cut more, but I think for me, this will probably work. So I'm gonna go ahead and start applying pressure and, stable the leather onto the seat and see how well it's gonna look. Stay tuned. All right, so it is done. At least my very first wrapping project for the motorcycle seat. This is, again, Honda NC 700X. Okay, so obviously I think I did a great job on the top surface, which I guess is the most aesthetically important and also important for the passenger to be sit on. However, if I do flip over to the other side, you can see that my job is not so perfect. Okay, especially at around the edge. Now, why? Because I don't have a proper upholstery, how do you say it, a stapler. Okay, this stapler is like a general purpose medium duty stapler. If you want to do those kind of jobs properly, you definitely want to invest in a proper stapler just for, restoring the motorcycle seats or any other kind of materials. But I think for my job, using whatever tool that I had in front of me and available, and spending only around $10 to get the materials and only used a quarter of it to get this job done. Okay, look at that. What a difference. The old one was like totally deteriorated and very, very ugly. Now it is looking great. It is also waterproof. Okay, so it definitely adds value to your motorcycle, especially if you're selling your bike, right? You don't want to have a really messed up seat that people is gonna be haggling on and say, oh, look at that seat, can you give me some discounts, and that kind of crap. All right, so here's a upholstered seat again on the top. It looks great. Just first project, so I think the next time if I need to improve it, the first thing I'm gonna do is go get a proper, more heavy-duty stable gun, and that will make sure that will help me make sure that those creases, especially at the tricky areas, is gonna get stabled in properly. Okay, so if you have existing foam and it's still in great condition, this whole project, that like with stabling, it took me about an hour, because it's really hard to do with a stable gun that's not designed for this kind of work. So I would say, did it work for me? Yes. Did it boost the value of the bike? I would say definitely yes, because before it was super ugly and I have to use this cover to hide the ugliness, and now I don't really need this cover. But I mean, I can put the cover back on there, but now there's no need. All right, so overall I think it is a success. Oh, another tip: if you buy your vinyl leather, it's got those folding marks on the leather. Make sure you use a iron or a steamer to steam, either to steam the back of the leather, not in the front, to steam the back of the leather, to make sure that those creases are flattened out. Again, they usually give you an instruction on how to do that, but that's just the one remark that I have about this project, is if you see those creaks, make sure you iron or steam it out first, so it looks really nice with the finished product. All right, so that's it. Hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe to my channel. I should have more reviews coming out for you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.